Welcome to Music Theory lesson number 8. We're going to talk about the circle of fifths today. This is a way that we are going to organize our different keys. You've seen this before, the C major scale. Remember, we spelled it whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. And now that we know intervals, we know what a perfect fifth is. What we're going to do now, we're going to go to this fifth note from the bottom, and we're going to make it our first note. Now we can construct it in that same way: whole, whole, half, whole, whole, whole. We need a whole step, half, so that means we're going to need F sharp right there. Ho, 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 half, ho, 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 half. We call this the key of G. So G is the most important note. It's the first scale degree. One here. In solfege, if you've used solfege, this would be your do. And we're going to keep going with this idea. Whatever new scale we have just constructed, we're going to go to the fifth. A perfect fifth higher. The perfect fifth will always be the fifth note of that particular scale. So now we have D. I'll write the scale in. I'll write these notes, and then we have to figure out what the accidentals are, because we know we've started seeing some sharps here. We're going to carry this F sharp. It's always going to be here. Did you notice that the numbered scale degree that we had to change was number 7? Well, let's see if that's the same thing here. Whole, whole, half, whole, whole. Right now there's a half step, so we need a C sharp to make it another whole, to make that a half. Was that the 7th scale degree? Sure was. Back to first scale degree. So we had the key of C, had 0 sharps. Now we went to the key of G, we had to have 1 sharp. It was F, F sharp. Now the key of D had an F sharp and a C sharp. So you can see a pattern starting to emerge. So you can feel free to pause this and see if you can figure out what's about to happen next. So hopefully now you've unpaused it and you know where we're headed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to start on that note. A. How many black keys are we going to have? Let's see. 0, 1, 2. We're going to have 3. We're in the key of A. I'm just going to leave this up here. It'll help us know where our whole and half steps are, but also it'll reinforce how important it is to always be thinking of the keyword for your intervals. So F is going to be a sharp, I bet. C is going to be a sharp, and I bet our 7th scale degree is the one we're going to have to change. So here's A, B, C is one that needs a sharp. D, E, here's an F that needs a sharp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's the 7th scale degree. There's a G sharp, A. So this is an A major. Oh, I'm going to pause here. We're not going to go through all 12 like this, but we definitely have a pattern that has been started. And so on the flip side of this board, I'm going to draw a circle. Top, we had our first one. No sharps, no flats. G had 1 sharp. D had 2 sharps. The 1 sharp was F. 2 sharps were F sharp, C sharp. Our next one had 3 sharps, F sharp, C sharp, G sharp. So if we go a perfect fifth above an A, you can pause it and figure it out, and then join us when you have it figured out. Of course, that'll be E. That'll be 4 sharps. that 7th scale degree of E that needs to be sharp is D sharp. Next up, we have B. A sharp is the next one. Be careful with the next one. It's not the key of F. It has to be a perfect fifth. In the key of B, F was sharped. It was F sharp. It was not F natural. So F sharp will be the name of the key. It will be 6 sharps. E will have to be sharped. Remember, E sharp sounds like an F, but it's called an E sharp. And we have 7 sharps. There's the B. So let's go back over here. I'm going to erase some of these. We're going to go the other direction now. Here's what I mean by the other direction. We went up to a fifth. We're going to go not to a fifth, to the 5th scale degree, but we're going to go to the 4th scale degree. Remember, if the 5th, this were a perfect 5th higher between C and a G, if we went lower by a perfect 5th, so I'm going to go and put this C up here just so I don't have to have so many ledger lines. If we went down a perfect 5th, we would get to that note. We'll get to an F. And so notice I could just go up to the 4th scale degree and it would be the same thing as going down a 5th. So let's start with this F. I'm going to play this and you're probably going to hear the note that needs to be changed. That one, the 4th scale degree, needs to be lowered by 1/2 step so that it can fit this pattern. Whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. Now this is F major. F has 1 flat, and it is B flat. Let's do all of those same things. Remember, we went up to the 4th scale degree. So what is the 4th scale degree here? The new note, B flat. I'm going to put it with this ledger line down here. And remember, we changed the new 4th scale degree, which would make the E natural to an E flat, and that gives us whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. That's going to need to be flat because it's the same note as the first one. So really there's only 2 flats here because B flat is the same. So B flat and E flat for the key of B flat. So you can pause this if you think you know what the next one is. So now we go to the 4th scale degree of B flat, we get to E flat. We carry over that note, B flat, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this is the note, the scale of E flat, it has 3 flats. How does this work with the circle of fifths? We go the other way. Remember, we're going up a 5th going this way, so that means we're going down a 5th coming this way, which makes sense because if we're on F, a perfect 5th higher than F is a C. Remember, there was 1 flat for F, happened to be B flat. Oh, there it is. The next one was the key of B flat, had 2 flats. It was B flat and E flat. Oh, and there they are. Next up was E flat, had 3. B flat, E flat, A flat. we kept going, we would get to A flat, 4. I'm going to put D flat over here and space it out as much as I should have. That's going to be 5 flats, because here's what C sharp sounds like. Here's what D flat sounds like. It's going to start on the same note. When you play that scale, you can call all the notes 2 different names. They could be in flats, they could be in sharps. So if they flats, then it would be D flat, having these 5 notes flat. Or if they were sharps, it would be what we had before. So over here, we'll have G flat, 6 flats, B, C flat, 7 flats. In the future lesson, we'll talk about what the complexity of these keys that have 2 different names. But a lot of keys are going to keep 4 accidentals or less in the key signature. So let's talk about what that key signature is in the next lesson.